Afternoon, guys. I have been working on the Ranger Goat here for a little bit and figured this would be a really good time to kind of do an in-depth walk around of the Stage 3 and what it consists of. We just got the front end back together here. Total chaos really came to the table for us here. We've got a trip coming up next week, and we just finished out the final version of our Stage 3 for the front of the truck, the Ranger Goat. And just got the control arms in. I've got it set up right now so you can kind of see full droop with a 37-inch tire on it, and full compression on how we mark our compression and what we need to trim on the front end of the truck. So I've got it set up on the lift right now, so let's go check it out. I'll do this walk around front to back. Actually, you can kind of see kind of what we're looking at here for full droop on this side. That's limited. That's a limiting strap holding that where it's at, so everything's set where it's going to full droop. This is full compression, resting on the bump stop. Full compression. The tire actually still spins. Nothing's touching at all anywhere. We're going to trim right here, right in here, just a little bit. See that right there. We'll trim that back just a little bit. It goes in further. Pretty good. Do a little bit of trimming, a little bit of something here and there. That's kind of how we can set our compression. And then on this side, you can see our full droop. This is the new setup here. So this is the Total Chaos plus 3.5 Longtravel control arms. So within our Stage 3 setup, this is what you get. This is the big brake setup from SOS Performance. 6-piston caliper, Stop Tech rotor. We're running the King triple bypass. We're putting the adjusters on the bypass tubes. It's just a lot easier to tune without having to have a Allen wrench and a wrench to adjust your bypass tubes out in the field. So you can just kind of come in here, turn it click by click, and tune it that way. Did something a little bit different on this set. We're running the cooling fins on the remote reservoirs and an adjuster on the coilover itself. So really liking the way this setup is. With the Stage 3, you get shock tower from Total Chaos, upper and lower control arms, tie rod extensions. We are running, it's an option, we're running the RCV axle shafts. Very, very stout axle shaft. It's ridiculous. And that's pretty much what you're seeing there. You get this is not a Total Chaos spindle gusset. I wanted to run the Total Chaos spindle gusset, but I don't have a spare spindle laying around, so I can weld those on, but that's coming here pretty soon. Just figured this was a good opportunity to try and show the Stage 3. Moving back, we're actually running a 529 nitro gear setup in the front and rear, ARB lockers. Coming back here to the rear end, this is what we're doing for the Stage 3, the Curry F9 axle housing. You kind of see what we're doing here. This is a full width axle housing. We're running the disc brake conversion back here. It uses a 4-runner unit bearing and basically 4-runner brake setup. You can kind of see this there. That is SOS's plate that they make in-house that replaces the backing plate for the 4-runner disc brakes. We bend all of our hard lines for these axles. We set it all up ourselves. We get our rear brake lines made here in town. And these are the Alcan springs, the Archive Garage hammer, shackle, and hanger right here. This is the cross member from Archive Garage. It really is nice to put that in there. It helps stiffen up the back of the frame here. You actually can tell a difference when you're driving. Trim our exhaust off right there because these springs droop out far enough to where it hits the exhaust and it pulls down on the hanger. We run all of our ABS lines Everything's kind of factory length. We just rerun it together. Breather hose, air locker line, a couple rock lights. This is our floating airbag setup that everybody's been asking about. We can get full travel out of this, and it works extremely well when you're carrying a trailer or a super heavy load. And then our 12-inch travel shock. I know a lot of you are asking questions about the shock that Total Chaos recommends for this. We've been running a 12. We're speccing the top end of the shock just slightly different with the hose and the fitting that comes out of the shock, things like that. That's a 6-inch hose. We're running a 12-inch hose now. This is the King air bump that comes in the Total Chaos air bump kit. We kind of modify the spring perch, and actually the U-bolt flip kit here works out pretty good. We kind of cut some things up and make it fit right. We rotate with this. We rotate the shock base up and out of the way underneath the axle, so you get full compression and extension out of your shock, and it moves everything up from underneath the axle. There's really nothing hanging underneath the axle. Tons of ground clearance, and on a 37 it's really a ton of ground clearance. On this axle housing itself, we have what's called a backbone across the axle here, all from end to end, to make it a lot stronger. I like to get it made with this inspection cap, so you can actually just see straight down inside your diff. Really nice. You can look at the teeth on the ring and pinion gear, or on the ring gear, kind of check everything out, make sure everything's good. Easy to fill. And drain it underneath with this Allen screw right there. This is the nitro gear. Everything's dirty. We just got back from a trip, so as you can see, there's mud everywhere. This is the nitro gear billet Ford 9-inch diff. It's incredibly strong diff. We're running a 35 spline chromoly axle shaft in this axle, and the 529 gears. Factory Toyota drive shaft. We adapt it from a 1330 to 1350 U-joint right there, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's our TAV spec F9 axle housing with nitro gear billet third member, Curry axle, Stop Tech 4-piston caliper in the rear, Stop Tech rotor, L-can leaf springs. This is basically the stage 3 suspension and drivetrain portion of this. Just thought everybody'd like to see what's going on under the Ranger Goat. We pretty much got it dialed in now. It did really well for us in Baja, and it's considered a daily driver. I drive this truck all the stinking time. We take it everywhere. Heading to North Carolina next week for Christmas. Hopefully we'll see some of you out there and kind of see what we've been working on here. I'll have this drivable by today. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys soon. Merry Christmas.